Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of May 13th, 2015. So let's get into it because I am deadbeat tired and I think I'm starting to get sick and that really sucks. But yeah, so first up we have Convergence number 6 of 8. Convergence has not been overly great, but it's a good read. The main title is really solid. There's a few questions I have, and I need to go back and check out some things. But overall, it's been a really good read. So, Convergence number 6. And if I have Convergence, that means I have a bunch of Convergence titles. So, first up is Convergence Aquaman number 2 of 2. Read the first one. It was okay. Enjoyed it. Nothing too grandiose, but it was a good read. So. Next up is a Convergence title that actually started out on my read list and ended up on my pull list because I enjoyed it, which was Convergence Batman Shadow of the Bat. I wasn't too optimistic about this title at first, but because I'm not too big a fan of Azrael as Batman, but this one turned out to be a good story, and they got Deathblow in it, is who they're facing off against, so curious to see how that ends up, but Convergence Batman Shadow of the Bat number 2 of 2. Then next up we have Convergence Catwoman number 2 of 2. Liked the first one. It was enjoyable. So I'm curious to see where this goes. But yeah, gotta love it. Next up is Justice League International, the Convergence 2 of 2. First one was interesting enough, so I kept going with it. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I like it so far. And then next up is for the last of the Convergence titles on my pull list, we have Convergence Suicide Squad 2 of 2. First one was interesting, so I'm really curious to see where this goes. With all the stuff with the movie and me just enjoying Suicide Squad to begin with, I was, hopeful that I would like this, and I did. So, those are the Convergence titles from DC this week. Convergence overall hasn't been like too just knock your socks off as an event, but for the most part, it has been enjoyable. The one thing I do like is you can just read Convergence and not have to worry about the tie-in issues or the two-shot issues unless you want to. So I thought that was cool. Next up is East of West number 19. East of West is just a good book overall. Art's really great. Story's really good. Just a really solid title. It's a slow one, but you got to invest the time on the good ones. So, East of West, number 19. Next up, we have a Valiant title, Imperium number 4. I've liked it so far. Some of Valiant's titles have fallen off, but a couple of them have done fairly well in my eyes. Some of the newer ones, but Imperium's one of those ones that's doing okay. So, Imperium number 4. The next up we have the one everybody buys, everybody gets, everybody loves, Saga number 28. I think I'm one issue behind on Saga, just been just so swamped with stuff going on in the past month and a half that haven't been able to stay consistent on all of the stuff I'm reading. I have finished all the Convergence titles so far, but I'm behind on my independent book reading. But Saga's on that list, and I've been loving Saga since the beginning, so I'm really excited to read 2 issues at once. Next up, we have Unity number 18. Unity is basically like the Justice League or Avengers of the Valiant Universe. I like it. It's cool. It's good stuff. Solid book. Then next up, we have Exo Manowar number 36. Exo Manowar is probably one of the top books for Valiant. You can tell by the fact that it's gotten to issue 36. I really enjoy it. It's a really good read. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend going and at least getting the first trade, see if you like it. But Exo Manowar number 36. So we'll see what happens in this one. I did get some variant covers, or I was going to get some variant covers, but I only ended up getting one because Ryan didn't get the Chip Kid variants for a couple books that I get, namely Suicide Squad and Catwoman were the ones that he didn't pick up, but hopefully he'll order those for me, so I'll have those at a later date. But I did get the Tony Daniel Convergence cover for number 6. Tony Daniels covers probably should have been the main cover. They're really really good. So yeah, so that's the variant I picked up this week. Um, Joker variants are next month for DC. So if you like Joker, I would highly recommend pre-ordering those. I don't know. Yeah, you'll have to contact Ryan at the shop to see if we're still able to take pre-orders on those. But yeah, if not, track those down. It's too bad the Joker Batgirl variant cover won't be in there. But hey, can't win them all. All right, so on to my read list. These are the titles that I take home, read, just to be kind of caught up, current, just stay knowledgeable about freaking comic books, because there's a lot of them out there, but I can't read them all. So first up is Chrononauts #3, the Mark Millar book. First two were interesting enough, so I'm curious to see where it goes. But hey, it'll probably be a movie. I think it already is slated to be a movie. Next up is Convergence Crime Syndicate. We actually got shorted this one a couple weeks ago, so I wasn't able to read it, but we actually finally got it back in, so I'm going to be checking this out. Finally, yay! More Convergence stuff for you. We got Convergence Green Arrow. This one was pretty interesting. I wasn't reading Green Arrow around the time frame that this universe or this city got taken with Green Arrow in it, so but it's good enough, and I enjoy it. So next up we have Convergence Green Lantern Parallax #2 of 2. It was okay. The first one was okay. This one hopefully will redeem it a little bit, but overall wasn't the best Convergence title out there. It wasn't as bad as some of the other ones, namely the Superman family ones, which we're getting into right now. So the first one is Convergence Superboy. I don't know about you, but this looks like it's advertising, violence against your kids. I don't know. The first one was okay. Next up, we have Superman Man of Steel, Convergence #2 of 2. The first one was, alright. Steel and his niece and nephew, I believe, doing stuff. Parasites in it. Gen 13's in it. We'll see. Wasn't too impressed with it. Next up, we have... there was one Convergence title that I did not pick up because the first one was so bad, and that was Convergence Supergirl 1 of 2. I did not pick up 2 of 2 this week because the first one was just shit. I flipped through a copy of the second one and realized I didn't need to read it. It was pointless. So, yeah. So if you like Supergirl, pick it up. If you don't, skip it. Next up, we have new #1 from Image, which is Injection #1. I believe there's 2 covers to this one. Was a whiter one, and this is the black one. We'll see where it goes. I try to normally pick up the Image #1s, check them out, so on and so forth. So we've got another one on here, which is Mythic #1. We'll see. I mean, there's 2 covers to this too. I just grabbed one. So got 2 #1s to check out this week. I did actually check out, I don't know if I mentioned it, Pisces #1 came out last week. Very confusing book. I don't know if it's an astronaut dreaming or what, but I don't know if I'll even check out issue 2. But yeah, Pisces #1 from Image, that was last week. Next up is the big book, the huge title from Marvel, which is Secret Wars #2 of 8. So I read the 0 issue and I read the first issue of this. The 0 issue is a really poor kind of catch you up kind of thing. And that was the Free Comic Day one. Issue 1 of this, problem with when you're dealing with a lot of characters is they tend to start sounding the same, and that's an issue that I had with the first issue of this. Every character seemed like they could be swapped out with any other character, and the dialogue would have worked perfectly. So it didn't really feel like I was reading a book about individual superheroes teaming, getting together for whatever the hell Secret Wars is. It kind of felt like just, hey, we got a bunch of people on the page and people are talking. So really not looking forward to Secret Wars #2, but I'll I'll power through it to see if it has any redeeming qualities for the series. But this is starting to feel like Infinity, where I just didn't even finish Infinity. I was just like, whatever. I think at issue 4 or 5, I just gave up. I was like, I'm done. It's not worth it. So we'll see. Secret Wars number 2 of 8. A lot of people aren't. Secret Wars is going to be difficult to gauge, like, until tomorrow, when people have read the number 1 and then they get the number 2 and they read it. So we're not really going to see too much of that. And with what's coming out of Marvel after Secret Wars or during Secret Wars is slightly confusing. They do have this promo thing that you can get from your shop if they ordered it. It's like this fold-out thing. It's got 2 sides. Like, oh, look, this came out the 6th. This came out the 13th. But when you fold it open, it's like a map of all the worlds, or of battle worlds. Secret Wars Battle World. You can go online to www.marvel.com/Secret Wars, and there's like an interactive version of this map. They got stuff blocked out, which, you know, oh, this is classified, we can't tell you what it is. I don't know. I kind of, there's like pictures around the side that look like these all lead up to Secret Wars, and the Secret War starts here, and then it goes all the way around, and goes all the way around, and comes back around here. So I'm not sure what's going on. Manhattan is actually number 20 on this map, and it's this one right here in the middle, and then you zoom out, and it's like, look, here's Manhattan. I'm like, but where's the water? Manhattan's like near water. Like, what the? So I don't know what Marvel's doing. If you can decipher that Secret Wars map, let me know. If you make a Risk game out of it, let me know. But yeah, so not really too excited with the Secret Wars stuff, especially since they're canceling a lot of titles out of it. And I'll get to one of those in a minute that's getting canceled and relaunched as something else, but then we'll be back again after, so whatever. But next up on the pull list is Spider-Man 2099, number 12. I'm curious to see how this ends. I've enjoyed the series. Sucks that it's ending. Sucks that it didn't really get a chance to shine, but, hey. Sometimes that's the Marvel way. Next up is Star Wars Darth Vader, number 5. Enjoy Darth Vader. It's a good book. Out of the 4 Star Wars books, this is probably number, let's say, 2 on the list. Star Wars being first, third being Kanan, and the last one being Princess Leia. So I enjoy Darth Vader. It's good. Good stuff. And last but not least on my read list is Thor number 8. We find out who Thor, the female Thor, is in this issue. It's not really anything special. It's funny to think that speculators thought it was somebody and it's not that person, so the book that was going for like $100 because it was their first appearance is now worth nothing. So yeah, so if you want to find out who the female Thor is, pick this up. If not, just flip to the back and I'll show you who it is. I'm not going to spoil it for you today. You'll get plenty of spoilers on the internet tomorrow or at your local shop if you flip through this. Oh, excuse me, take a drink. So yeah, so this book, Thor, is actually being canceled after with Secret Wars and stuff, and it's kind of a bummer because it's turning into Thors. So Thor is turning in, the female Thor book is turning into Thors. So we're going to have multiple people with hammers, and then after all of the dust settles, we'll probably just end up with Thor. Who knows which one that'll be. There's a couple titles that I was not able to check out reading copies of. Hopefully I will later this week or next week. And those are Legends of Star-Lord, or Legendary Star-Lord number 12, Guardians 3000 number 8. Oh, take another shot. Run, Love, Kill number 2, Southern Cross number 3, and I'm not reading them anymore, but I did want to mention Cowl number 10 is out, and so is Black Science 14. Graphic novels of note, I didn't pick it up, but I should. I need to, but I'm behind in the hardcovers. Is Fables Deluxe Edition Volume 10 came out. It's $29.99. So if you like Fables, snatch that one up. Fables is going to come to a close here fairly soon with the giant 150 issue, which is actually going to be like a graphic novel. So yeah, so I'm really excited to see where that one goes. But yeah, sorry. Oh, long weekend, and not feeling too hot. So I'm gonna finish up here. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can check me out on the Comic Conspiracy podcast, which we record every Tuesday night. Goes up Tuesday night. You can download Tuesday night if you want, or Monday morning through www.geekbox.net, or through iTunes, or there's a couple other places you can probably get us through. But yeah, we talk comic stuff on there. So if you want to listen to me and the guys talk your ear off about comics, check out the podcast. Other than that, you can go to my website, www.conspiratorbrock.com. That's my blog. I have not actually done too much except post pull lists, which are the full list of what I get every week, which have links to the digital versions through the Comics Conspiracy digital storefront through Comixology. If you purchase through there, we get a little cut. If you subscribe through there, we get a little bit. And we do appreciate it. Thank you. You can help support myself and the guys over at the Comic Conspiracy Podcast through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicconspiracy. I think that's pretty much about it. I need to get a lot of reading done. I need to get a lot of stuff done. Yeah, I'm starting to feel bleh. So hopefully I'm going to get this done and go to bed, get some rest, and just spend tomorrow kind of relaxing a little bit. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week.